Now bring this down. Hello, folks. How are you doing? Did I mute?
Hello.
Yeah, good. Okay. Hello. Yeah, this is our scuffed episode today.
Hello?
Wait, can you not hear me?
He's listening to the stream.
Is he that cooked? There's no
Oh
way.
wait, Joe,
Okay.
you're muted.
Okay. Okay. Look, there's a lot of things going on. Okay, there's a lot of things going on,
There's
guys.
a lot going on.
Okay, there's a lot going on.
Hello.
So confusing.
This is the most scuffed episode we've done so far.
Tech?
Oh, yeah.
Tech is having issues.
Is that I was listening to the stream, so I heard you say the hello, but I thought you had unmuted.
Send it to you.
You heard me reply, so you thought you were unmuted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was so thrown. We haven't got OG or Shayne today, and then we've got a couple off camis, but we'll probably aim to do a shorter episode just because we're missing two. We're two down, and we'd usually take that off, but we already got started, so we might as well keep going because there's a bit of a travel episode today. So, also, I've got family running around in the background, and to avoid nephews and nieces running into my room willy-nilly, I've decided to live in a farm in the middle of nowhere. So that's why you might see me there.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're at my house.
yeah,
It's just gonna be like, that's a picture of our house.
It is. Well, before we do get started, everyone, has anyone got anything they want to shout out? Anything of that good stuff?
No, man.
Okay, tomorrow. Okay,
No.
sorry.
Shout out to whatever this is gonna be.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm already proud of us. Good job, everybody.
We managed to get it working. We
Exactly.
managed to get it working in the end.
Come so far.
I know everybody's already worked harder than they do
Yeah.
on normal episodes. So
Give you guys
it
an
has to be
idea?
good.
Like for chat as well, the way we do it when someone's missing is I have to load up like Discord on another browser with a fake name in the same order alphabetically, otherwise it pushes all the cams out of the way. Tell it to go on cam, but Discord's now recently changed it so that if you try to go on cam, it says nope, failed, and then cancels you out, meaning we can't do that anymore. So I've had to like share the screen. It's a scuff setup, but it's working. All right, who would like to do the recap?
I have a doctor's note.
You have a doctor's
for
note?
that. I'm actually
Okay,
not
can I read it?
supposed to. No, I can send you a picture, but unfortunately my camera is currently being used by 2 feeds, Joe. I think I've done enough work for the beginning of this one.
I'm just
to be
confused.
honest.
I'm just confused. You got a doctor's note. You're not going to give the doctor's note over. That's not how that works, is
I
it?
just don't know why I'm being interrogated. I just don't understand.
You brought a doctor's note to school. You just go, nah. The teacher, you don't need to read it. You
It should be
don't
enough.
need to
It
read
should be
it.
enough for me to say I have.
Dude, shout out to Shayne doing whatever it takes not to read the fucking,
That's true. Yeah.
Missing a session just not to
including
read the
having
recap.
surgery, dude.
Yeah, he had surgery just to get
Yeah.
away from it.
Next time he does that, we should just be like, okay, record the recap now before the session, and we'll play it like
good idea.
when the time
Yeah.
comes.
That would be incredible, actually. It would.
I'll do it.
Thank you, sir.
Nice. Ken.
Last we left off, the 6 of us faced off against doppelgangers hiding in our camp. During the confrontation, the pursuer arrived with intent to slaughter all those who were in the Vault of Death. We lured him away from the camp and fought him in the fields, off of the long road. A potentially devastating battle resulted in only one death, Jabbo Twin Chin.
No.
The doppelgangers were agents of the Youthbringer, and their purpose was unknown. Also, the family mini party thing going on at my house and kids are running around, so throwing up my green screen to avoid any of that. Sorry. Thought that was part of the recap, my bad.
You're so dumb. That's so stupid. Stupid bit. So with that having said, you guys have just fought off against the doppelgangers. You've just killed them, revealing themselves inside the camp, managing to subside a massive massacre. You managed to lure the pursuer outside of the long road onto a field nearby and fought him to the death there. Defeating him, he seeped into the floor, leaving your camp to kind of slowly wander back into the camp itself. Each of the people kind of wandering if everything's safe, guards kind of luring them back inside, people heading towards their camps. Now maybe a little bit less comfortable than they were before, having actually experienced the possibility of death inside the camp that they felt quite safe in before. But with that being said, you've kind of got this element of everyone returning, allowing you to continue along their own road or whatever you want to do. And you also, sorry, the one thing I did miss out on the recap as well, you did interrogate the doppelgangers with Speak with Dead. You learned a little bit about who sent them, the Youthbringer, and the way that in which you were going, you learned that the Youthbringer himself over in Songrest, the town in which Tak is from, was building monsters and conjuring them from a false reality into the real one.
That's right.
We got to get Clarb out of there, guys.
Gotta get Clark
Yeah.
Out of
out.
there.
So,
I totally forgot about what we saw through Clarb last time.
Yeah.
It was yuckus.
Yeah.
well, you are able to kind of do whatever you want. Is there anything you want to do on like the first days of travel or anything on the road?
We gotta bury this guy, guys. We gotta bury
Hmm.
Jabbo.
Yeah.
Did we actually establish that we were like burying all the corpses that were the like doppelgangers as well? We wanted to get rid of them.
You did move
Yeah.
them.
Just like tossed them out. I feel like we wouldn't just toss bodies on the road.
Yeah.
No,
That's
but
not
also
real style.
a while back, and I can't remember if it was because someone else died, but a while back we talked about one of the additions to the camp being like a cemetery adjacent thing or something similar to that. If that could be one of our like bastion
Yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard with a caravan, huh?
It
Like, the
is.
best we can do is like cremate and then keep all the
You could-
urns on a big cart.
You could have
essentially.
a
That
moving
could be
kind of
cool,
cremation
actually.
thing. Yeah, you could have a moving
Not even
cremation thing.
keep the urns. We would just need like a monument, right?
Yeah, like
some
memorial, right?
Just have that, memorial. Just have their names carved in, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do think that's, as much as I loathed Jabbo, I just truly felt nothing for them. Matter of fact, I may
Yeah.
have hated them.
Sure.
Like I still don't like they're the first person to die in like from the camp, and there's two other people that now died because possibly more from like the
But they're also one of the
Yeah.
few people I felt relief at their demise.
like we should
Like, it was
document
finally
these
over.
deaths.
Maybe don't say that part.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
Strippin
but
is saying
also, yeah, but also because like Joe is saying, this is the first major battle that happened like partially in the camp and then right outside of the camp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, regardless of how any of us felt about him, he did die trying to save the camp.
Joe, how beloved was
You know,
Jabbo?
Ballbiter
Bullbite cried.
oh my god, Bullbiter cried. Can you do a roll? How much did people love him?
At literally anything, just to clarify.
Sure,
Like
You
we
know
didn't
what?
know a lot about the like camp life that wasn't happening. We were watching. You know what I mean? Like
I'm
I
gonna
felt
do.
like Bullbite would sob watching The Notebook. Like he's that kind of guy. That doesn't tell me a lot.
I'm gonna.
That's
I'm
an
gonna roll
emotional movie.
a D100. Right, with the closer to 100 is the
Okay.
more loved. All right, like percentile. This is
Oh my
percentile
God.
dice of how much of the camp loved.
oh,
him.
this is gonna be
Okay.
great.
Holy
And
fuck.
then you can do
Okay.
insight checks to see how much like you can tell. Okay. Go ahead and do some insight checks. I'll set the DC at 15 to kind of get the general vibes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't
It's
even
a
have
23.
Roll20 open.
Yeah, that's okay. I can tell you
That's a
with.
little for him. You didn't even open roll 20.
I'll do this because Carlisle's already rolled a 23.
Bro, there's a lot going on, you know.
I'll roll higher than that. It's okay.
Okay, try and roll high. That's fine. That's fine. We got a
You're
6
gonna
from
roll higher
Vito.
than 23. Better than that 20,
Yeah, I rolled a
motherfucker.
6. V is not tuned into the social aspects of things.
This might be the first time you saw him, even though you're the one that hired him.
Well, Carlisle's tent was near the mercenaries, so he'd know.
Yeah.
I rolled a 5.
Is that one?
Somehow worse than V.
Yeah. Well,
Minus 17.
I mean, yeah, you know, it's hard to
I
say.
can't see how much they loved him.
Tak and,
Yeah.
and especially
It's not
Carlisle.
tangible.
You would definitely get to see Tak and Carlisle how much. He was absolutely beloved across the camp. I got an
Oh no.
I got an 80. I got an
God.
82%. Like the vast majority
Oh
of
my
people
God.
really cared about Jabbo Twin
Whoa,
Chin.
I love that.
Do we,
Oh my
guys?
God.
Do we need to spend diamonds to bring him back? We still can. Like,
Oh, we could.
if everyone like loves him so much, I'm sure they can do the resurrection part. Like, and we just have to put the money
Or
down.
hear me,
Yes, it's
hear me
gonna
out.
take morale,
Hear me out.
like-
Hear me
I was
out.
gonna say
We make a
we have to
statue.
weigh the
We make a
the
statue
social
of
aspect
Jabbo.
here.
Yeah.
We make a statue of Jabbo at like our mercenary tent,
Yeah.
so people can come pay their respects.
Can we also do an insight check on how many people in this camp know we could resurrect him if we really want to?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
good
that's-
idea. Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
That's
Go
fun.
and give me
really
a general
fun.
like Arcana check for this one.
So my 23 is meaningless.
9.
I'll take your
23.
insight or arcana. That works for me.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
We're 30.
You know that resurrection magic is so rare. It's such a divine thing that people see as like the highest of clerics can do, and those who are like deeply god worshippers could do, or worshippers of deities. That it is the general consensus that people don't expect it of anyone. Adventurers that have that capability are rare and far and few between. So you can get the general consensus that everyone just thinks when you die, you die. Even long resting is a privilege of adventurers. It's kind of this gift of magic that flows through you. So most people in this camp, if they get injured, they don't heal the next morning like you guys do. It's kind of that kind of privilege of adventure. And so resurrection is definitely like, they think he's gone and dead. Like there is, it's mythos at that point. So they don't expect anything of him.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well,
Hey, we've got two choices. We bring him back when no one else thought he could be brought back, thereby cementing ourselves as true heroes of the people.
Yep.
Or we just build like a shitty statue.
I think that it's hard because even in RP, Carlisle would struggle with going, I have to decide right now knowing that everyone loves this guy, that we can't afford right now to shoulder the financial loss of bringing this guy that personally he didn't much care for, but apparently everyone else loved.
Right. Which again
that's fucking
brings us
dark.
back. Yeah.
It's really dark.
Again, I think if we, assuming that like we're sort of paraphrasing the conversation that would actually be happening between all of us, right? It would be, is the worth of bringing him back, if we want to be economic about it, is the worth of bringing him back the morale boost and the like social connectivity that would bring? Is that also enough added value to say, yeah, we should do it? But we're also having to appeal. We would have to get Ballbiter in there to be part of the ritual.
It'd be a bunch of people we don't know, essentially, very well doing this whole thing. And it might not even work. And if I put diamonds down on this guy and he doesn't come back, I'm going to crash out,
No. Absolutely not. Also, imagine if it was like a named NPC that we interact with regularly who died and we wasted the diamond on this guy.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't know. There's been a lot of death in this campaign so far. I'm going to be honest. We've burned through pretty good amounts of diamonds and gotten people back from almost dead. The idea of me not being able to bring someone back because I did spend some diamonds on Chapel is actually soul crushing to think about. So I think we leave him dead. We all just stay quiet. We make a nice monument to him because he was the first person to die, like actively fighting to protect the lives of people in the camp. That's inspiring.
It's beautiful.
It really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since what's his ass is still technically the like dude who runs the town.
Philander, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe we would have, and feel free to say no, we wouldn't do that, but like maybe we would have had a conversation with him and said like, let's let everybody know that we're going to develop a emergency protocol for if that happens again in the future. And also as part of that announcement, say that we're going to start work on, we could even name it after him, guys. We're going to start work on some sort of a part of the caravan that would be like a monument to our dead or our lost in the future.
Yeah, Sander would definitely support that. He'd let you know that he would help kind of push some coin towards that. And what he would probably ask you is he would look across your group and say like, what should the protocol be if something like that happens again?
What we need to figure out.
Well, it's probably safe to say that the next thing that's going to happen is probably that thing again. So, probably leaving the opposite side of the camp.
Okay.
People going inside their tents ain't going to really protect them from what that thing could do at all.
But we don't have like a bunker equivalent. We don't have somewhere to put people that's safe.
how many people can our House of Cards thing fit? Isn't that?
Let me find it. I don't think it's
Surely not that many.
huge.
The face
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
just
We
made.
also have Vanderval's shop. That's like an actual building.
Yeah, true.
I wonder if he'd be very thrilled about that, though.
Too bad, dude.
House of Cards is a
It's for
40
the
foot
good
cube.
of the group.
So it's pretty
Okay.
decent, but it's
I
still
mean, yeah.
yeah. It's only got 50 HP, but that's decent enough for like hiding a bunch of people inside probably, or get them on top of.
Yeah, potentially.
Slander would probably offer. He would say, if we do need to escape out of portions of the camp, we should label which portions of the camp by color: red, blue, green, yellow, and when you warn us, shout the color in which the danger's coming from, and we can shout the color which they will leave out of. Otherwise, trying to organize everyone to run the opposite way in a panic is going to be tough.
Okay.
And
Makes sense.
otherwise, we'll have to work on some sort of safety building. If it means Vanderval and we have to afford him the cost, we'll make that happen.
Yeah, well, we have some time at least. I don't think we're going to have another situation like that again, at least for a little.
Good.
But we also need to figure out what, we do have a couple people that now we know certainly were killed in this camp that were then replaced by doppelgangers, and we should probably talk about how we're going to talk about that to a camp of people who thought they have been alive this whole time.
Yes. When you figure that out, he kind of like shrugs it off. You tell me.
Yeah.
Good. Well, if there's nothing else, he would just kind of pull the flap of his tent back in. You see there's kind of an anxiety around him. He doesn't really want to be the leader here. So he's pulling out on the notion, leaving it to you guys to decide.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
we gotta
could
get
have-
him out of this job, guys.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah,
dude.
true.
He's not really like top management. He's more like maybe middle manager kind of material, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you
Do
do?
we just like,
Yeah, you go.
Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
we
go.
gotta figure out what we're gonna do about the bard and like,
I mean, the old guy was very old. He could have easily died of natural causes.
The son died though too. No,
Well, it was also the half-elf
his
girl
son
as
was
well,
being
right?
impersonated, and the
Yeah, you're right.
bard.
Yeah, there's a couple people. Like it was like a handful
Oh, yeah,
of
the
people
woman,
probably have
too.
There's
disappeared.
4,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
died
yeah,
because of the
there were 4.
doppelgangers.
I'm like
And-
wondering if we could have like a code or like how do we make sure people don't infiltrate again? I don't know.
I don't think we can ever make sure of that. I think that's
Probably not.
impossible beyond just like doing exactly what we did to check before.
Mhm.
But I mean, those two are
Yeah.
dead. I don't think
Yeah.
doppelgangers are super common. So it's like I'm more concerned about the people in the camp are going to be like, something really bad happened today, and then a bunch of people also quietly disappeared because we just got rid of their bodies outright.
I mean, I think generally we could just, as part of the same announcement, say, you know, these are the people that we lost today. You know, let's honor them in whatever way.
Mhm.
And then I assume the people who would want to know more information about what happened specifically, because I think the general populace would be like, oh my God, yeah, there was a huge attack. It makes sense. A couple people
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, the other monks and everybody else who came from there, they know that we were asking about her.
Yeah.
So they would probably
should
be
tell
like,
them.
wait, what the fuck happened? Right? Because 3 of our people are dead now. So what
Mhm.
happened? And we could just tell them.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, probably. I also
It's a
think
lot easier just to blanket it all into the same.
Those say
event.
they died in the attack, which is true.
Yeah.
we might
it's
want to
just
tell
different
people
Aspects of the
if you
attack.
see anyone acting out of character, let us know. Or like doing something weird or
I'm worried about that.
Is
because
that paranoia? Like,
Yeah, you
spring paranoia.
No.
second guessing everyone else, and are they an imposter and all this other
Hey
stuff.
guys, if you see
Yeah.
something, say something. Anyone acting weird at all, fucking call it out. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
just fucking don't trust Joe. In like a perfect world, everything would be great. And we never have to worry about stuff like this. But Joe, the second we drop our guard, is going to bring in fucking Chucklefuck 2 and 3.
We can explain to them that we have methods of detecting it now via magic, and they don't need to worry, and it won't happen, like all that kind of stuff.
We don't know that it won't happen again.
We can't be like, this will never happen again, ever, folks.
I also hesitate to say like we are the ones that can do XYZ because we're not here all the time.
Yeah.
We leave a lot.
Yeah.
No wonder everyone liked Jabbo so much. We're never around.
So then maybe instead of that, maybe we can just have an honest conversation with the town, which is like, this is we understand we invite danger to the camp, and if anyone, give people an opportunity to leave and go be safe. Because like, you know, I don't want anyone to feel obligated to stay just because they have been up to this point. Like no one really willingly signed up knowing that they might get killed probably, right? We saved a lot of these people. So
yeah,
if we could just like let them know like, hey, we're getting to a point where like dangerous things are happening. We can't guarantee everyone's safety. We'll do our best, but also knowing that if you want to take a chance and like leave and go out on your own, we totally understand. And let us supply you with as much as possible to send you on your way, kind of thing.
Whoa.
Relax. Let's take it easy.
Take some diamonds and like go on. That's funny.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, maybe something like that. So just anyone,
I think that's good.
Because like again, these poor people are like basically refugees from that town, a lot of them, and now they're like in more danger because of us indirectly. So I feel bad. So yeah,
let's hold like a camp meeting.
Yeah.
Joe.
Okay. Yeah, you can call everyone together, kind of gathering them around into the center. Probably as it gets to middle of the night now, everyone's kind of, their adrenaline's kept them up all night most of the part. So it's kind of dawning early in the morning, and everyone's kind of gathered around, muttering under their breaths and still kind of wondering who died, who didn't make it. You can hear the word Jabbo's being passed between people, and people kind of clutch their chest when they hear it. Except for 18% of them, which probably includes you guys, which makes about 10.
Of them are like, I never liked that guy.
Yeah. Which also includes your entire party, which if there's about 60-something people in the camp, you do make up 10%. So it's only you and a few others. Yeah, you and a few others.
That's so funny.
We're spicy, man.
So you get the whole kind of camp gathered together to kind of listen to you guys speak. Kind of giving room for the whole 6 of you. Let's see, for the sake of things as well, Andressa and kind of Desmond are in the camp, kind of like drawing people together and also preparing things, maybe getting ready for the burial and the memorial stuff. Like Desmond's agreed to help kind of build a portion of it, and Andressa's kind of researching into the pursuer and seeing what kind of stuff they could do to stop it from happening again. So it would leave mostly you four kind of stood there in front of the entire gathered camp with all of the kind of named people and the unknown people gathered before you.
Who were the names of the people that died? It was Jabbo. I don't know the names of the other ones.
Silas the Bard, right?
Yeah,
Silas the Bard.
Yep, Silas, Harren, and Harrel, and then Jabbo. And then also...
Harrel was the young one?
Woman?
And the elf girl.
Yeah, she was called... oh god, I've forgotten her name. One sec. Her name was... Let's find her name. I think it was Rochelle, but I need to double check.
That sounds right.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
I think that's it.
Yeah. So those are the ones that technically died.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
Bless you.
All right, are we, so just before I do this, are we agreeing that we're just going to tell them about the doppelgangers and be like, hey, if you don't feel safe, like, you don't have to keep coming with us?
I don't know if you even need to tell them explicitly because we don't want to.
I think we should.
I think we're
Otherwise,
going to
what we're saying, we just killed like the people.
No, we were
like...
going to say that they got caught in the fight, like as in.
Tell them
because
the truth, but
the point
separately.
Yeah, because the point is like these people died in the attack, but the attack happened because you're with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
We are inviting danger, and we want to give everyone the chance, the opportunity we will always go above and beyond as much as we can to keep you all safe. We'll do everything that we can. But,
Yeah.
Okay. Are you gonna say it, or are you just write it down?
Yeah, Morgan would address the camp and be like, "Peoples of the camp, please calm yourselves and listen to what I have to tell you. Night, our camp was attacked. As you know, we contend with many ferocious beasts in our line of work. And make no mistake, the target was us." And she'll gesture to the group.
Yeah, people are murmuring.
Whilst we'll always do our utmost to protect you, we also might not always be here. And we understand that existing in this camp, while it can be wonderful, comes with risk. Last night, we lost some people dear to us. Dabo Twinchin, who fought valiantly by our side. Silas the Bard, Rochelle the Elf, and Harren and Harold were innocent victims of the attack. It's late. So tomorrow, we will feast and mourn them properly. But for now, I want to make it clear that if any of you feel unsafe in this camp, you are under no obligation to continue traveling with us, and we will aid you in whatever way we can to settle elsewhere. And for those of you who do decide to continue with us, we will work tirelessly. Myself, the guards, and my companions to make sure that this does not happen again, although I cannot guarantee your safety.
In the camp, you can hear people kind of like murmuring and talking, but like a quiet mutter to each other, and kind of somebody passing things around. But stepping from the crowd, you'd see Farman Tex, the one you brought back, who looks after Adelaide and Duke, the cartography. He kind of steps out, the little gnomish man, and he pulls his chin and says, "If I may, I don't think I speak for everyone, but I hope I speak the truth. But I know I haven't been here long, not as long as most, but from what I've heard, there was a town that was draining people, and you saved them. And then there was a mountain with creatures of nightmarish quality in them, and you saved them. And then I know personally in my own town you saved so many of us there. With all due respect, there's danger in every corner of this world. And not as many people that are willing to save you there. We're safest, as far as I'm concerned, with the Six." And people around the camps are kind of like nodding their heads and like in agreement, and like others kind of saying so. Vanderval said, "And safest of all, if you buy from my shop, magical items can defend you against such monsters."
Read the room, brother.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Oh my god.
But there's a kind of a general murmuring of people just kind of agreeing. Bullbiter would step forward, he said, "I cannot speak for the others either. Whichever Twinchin was my friend. We may not be the Six, but we're mercenaries! They're hired by them! Do you know why they call me Bullbiter? In the Battle of Three Tunnels, I was found covered in my own blood, and others too. 43 men undersacked by me."
Undersacked?
Underset.
Oh my god.
There's Colonel Rump. He is a former captain of the forces of the Nest of the Straithlands. Over there's Dylan Penn. He's an archer. I be not the best one. But he does claim to see a unicorn in his time. We may not be the six, but we'll keep you safe when they're not around. Jabbo was a ballerina. He loved to dance. And he will be missed. As also the other three. We've got your back, Six.
He kind of steps back in the crowd, like, please themselves. Are the people kind of confused by his
Thank you,
speech? No, it's you.
That was beautiful.
Oh my god.
But you get this general consensus across the camp, like, people feel safest here. No one kind of moves to leave. You minimize the damage. They lost a few, but they could have lost so many more. And they realize that under your safety, if things had gone differently, maybe. But here in this camp currently, might be the safest they've ever been. They trust the six.
Okay.
Nice. Now we just have to figure out how we're going to actually run this place more effectively in the future. But that's like a later problem. That's like next time.
Yeah.
You know, since we're already like doing this shit, Joe, like, who in this town gives off mayor vibes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's got leadership potential?
Okay, we're gonna do a little fun little bounce down here. Let me see all the named characters. I gave you guys a little list recently. Why was it not coming on my search bar? What the hell? Let me search for shoe bill. Should be able to find it from this. Nope. For some reason, that's not for chat. I will find it. Hold on. Where's my little list I gave you guys of all the named NPCs? I'll just scroll up. Can't be too far up. But if you want to give me like insight checks, I will give you some idea as I go down at who could potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do an insight check to be like, oh, who do I remember? Seems like they.
Yeah, like kind of give it like it's a general like over
leadership type.
Yeah.
27.
How far up did I post this list?
I don't even remember you posting that list, so it's
got
up
it.
there.
It's here. Okay. Probably not Vanderval. His profits and focus on himself is not great.
I'm shocked.
Farman potentially. Farman is kind of shown some sort of fatherly and kind of almost like paternal instincts that kick into a kind of leadership role. Adelaide maybe not so much, though she has a kind heart. Tamora is not a bad idea. The blind monk. She's obviously a leader in her own people. Probably the mercenaries you'd probably struggle with. Potentially, if you want someone who's a bit more kind of on the ball with it and a little bit more less of a people person, but more of a kind of an action person, then Holtz, the goblin, who used to be kind of a trader of secrets and whatnot, he could probably make a good one. Other than that, those are your best bets right now. You do have Quintatio as well, but who knows how long he'll be around, along with Sir Trippy, who's a knight who might bring some form of like militaristic kind of focus without too much of a demand. But so you got a few options.
I mean, I feel like Farman is, while newer, the most aligned with like what's going on with us in the bigger picture, as well as like also connected to the camp. And I think that's important, because if we have like a mayor who's like less connected to the bigger picture for us, it might not be as helpful in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And we could talk to Farman about it.
Yeah. Did you want to do that now, or did you want to save that for a time when?
I feel like it'd be good to do it when the others are here, so that they can also be like, put in their thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we'll keep it.
Next episode, Shayne's like, "What? No,
I hate Farman.
I hate that guy."
Yeah.
I thought we were going to make
Absolutely
Ball
not.
Biter mayor.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You could do that, and the other two are going to arrive back and think you're absolutely gone batshit insane. Just do it off before they get here. But yeah, the camp in general just feels like they're kind of comfortably there with you. You guys save the majority of them. All right. Is there anything else you want to do for the day, or do you continue along the wrong road?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're good.
Okay. There is, I would say this: the long road now continuing as the days go by. Is going to be a period of time where you're traveling up it. It is remote. It's fairly safe for the most part. It is defended. It has a kind of a mercenary crew that will travel along it. The road keepers is what they're called. They're essentially this kind of mercenary band that is meant to be kind of patrolling from one end all the way to another, and kind of is commissioned by all of the different nations. Along with the fact that it's just so heavily used that creatures avoid it. It's too risky for hunting. So for the most part, this trip up here is going to be a series of catching up with NPCs, catching up with people that are in the camp, and doing your own thing. Imagine it like everyone's got like a little exclamation mark over their head about like what their next kind of goals are as an individual. So if there's anyone you want to talk to, anyone you want to catch up with, you can. Otherwise, you can kind of just skip to random things that might happen on the road. But yeah, this is your kind of moment to, if there's anyone you want to catch up with or anything you want to do for the next couple of weeks or so. Now would be the time.
I don't have anyone to catch up with. I am definitely like, I'm going to be keeping my head on a swivel for potions. I need healing potions, guys. That last one was like me reaching the end of the good potions, that fight.
I could tell you, one of the stops along the road will be Silverleaf. Though you're not planning to kind of stop there to actually like explore it, it's just the town along the road that will restock. You can
it is a long road. I feel like it makes sense for us to stop.
Okay, yeah. If we're gonna stop somewhere, I definitely want to resupply on like some stuff.
Yeah, I'll put you guys onto the main map again. The long road you guys are taking, will be going from. I'm sorry, my Roll20 is moving a bit slow today. The long road where you are right now is. I'd say you probably got to about here. You'll be passing through beyond West Marsh, and then going through Silverleaf, all the way through one path and into Songrest at the top. So it is a few weeks on the road to get up there, moving with the camp. But you move fairly fast on the road because it is well paved and easy access, with very little danger on the actual road itself. So stopping off, like you'll have nights in camp. You'll have nights where you can just like stop near Silverleaf and like resupply, and then later one path. So if you're just waiting for Silverleaf to come by, then you can restock there once it gets there.
I think once we started properly headed towards Songrest, we've still got the like those dudes that you can pay for information, right?
Yeah.
The brokers, yeah.
Halts and Ghast, yeah.
I feel like, not to speak for her, but I feel like both Tak and Indrasa would probably have an interest in finding out anything we could about what's going on in Songrest before we get there.
Okay. Yeah. You can put your feelers out. You can see that both kind of Ghast and Halts are like, they say to you, yeah, we can get on that. See what's on the news there. Okay, I'll put our feelers out. In a few days' time, we're well back. And you can see they kind of get down to it. They start asking travelers who go past, like if they've heard any rumors and stuff, and they just kind of get into casual conversations. The next like week of travel is them kind of anytime a merchant stops by, they'll go and have a drink with them and like ask rumors and stuff like that. And you can see how they work. There's a lot of just kind of making friends and then kind of getting them a little bit drunk and then
they're schmoozers.
Yeah, for sure. What you would learn from them, at one point, Halter would kind of come back to you, Tak, and be like, right. So, nothing good.
Okay.
For the most part, apparently Songrest is kind of locked down. They're not really letting as many merchants and whatnot come into trade. Some people just think it's a case of they're running out of merchandise. They're little crystals that they won't trade. They're starting to actually harvest them more. Apparently the mines are more in use. But the town itself seems to be pretty locked down. And no one's really coming out of there. People haven't heard of people from coming out of there in weeks. Merchants aren't traveling out of there. Travelers, in general, somewhere seems to be kind of a locked-off town. Like it's going through some sort of change. And one person who's traveled down there from about 3 weeks ago says that they even saw some sort of like, it's like a bubble growing out of it.
God.
A bubble around the town?
Briefly. He said it almost looked like something was kind of erupting, like almost like a bubble was being blown and then drawn back in. But he didn't get close enough to give me any more details. I pretended he was crazy, but I imagine he's not.
Oh boy.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. And one more thing.
Yeah.
There was a sighting. That bastard of yours, that bastard of beauty, he was seen journeying there. Or people claim to have seen him on the road.
Okay.
All right. And he heads back to his own business. Has anyone got anything else they want to do on that in the time? If not, or did you have something for you? No.
No, I don't think so.
One of the first nights, like after a few days, once you kind of get closer to the West Marsh area, you would see coming from out of kind of the during like deep in the night, you'd see a cloaked figure wander over towards your camp. As they kind of approach, you can see the guards almost get a little bit cautious, kind of stopping them. You look up and he kind of says to them, I'm friends with the Six. Who would be out kind of at nighttime mostly? Like, is it anyone like an early sleeper, or who kind of wanders out at night?
Night owl.
Yeah. Carlisle's probably up pretty late.
Mm-hmm.
He's got more prep to do for the next day than most of the group.
Give me a perception check.
30.
You immediately recognize who's under the hood. You can see there, and in V, you can almost hear his voice in the distance as well. You see kind of a slight burn across his face now as well, which has kind of cindered the skin. You would see Killian, the bodyguard of the Lord that sponsored you, who said he was going to come and meet with your camp, the Dampier. He kind of notices you looking in the distance and kind of pulls down his hood to make sure. Waiting for kind of acceptance to come in, because he does look like a kind of intimidating figure.
He'll come over and be like,
God, it's all right. Killian, it's good to see you alive.
And you. I'm sorry I couldn't get here sooner, but you have me for whatever capacity I can help in going forward. I would like to.
Okay, well, sure you've been on a pretty long trip here. You're probably tired. Let's go find you a place to settle down.
I mostly sleep in the day, but I'd appreciate it. Kind of looks directly at your eyes, Kala. Have you heard any more news about who might have hurt my friend? Who killed him?
we haven't yet, have we?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Not yet, unfortunately.
We did know he died, though.
Yeah, I think he's the one that told Andrasa, no?
Yes.
Yeah, we
Killian,
haven't gotten
I
any
think.
new information, I don't think. Everything that's happened since we talked to Killian has happened quite quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not much new stuff has happened on his side.
You kind of nod his head. Well then, I'd like to help in finding whoever did it. If you need anything of me, I'm here.
Yeah, we will definitely be taking advantage of that.
Good. He journeys into the camp to find a space to settle down, joining your camp as a permanent new member. I will say this as well, actually. One other thing, because I had it written down for you, Tack, as well. Holtz would come and find you later that night as well. And he'd kind of come and go, oh, there's one more thing. It's a bit strange.
What?
My brother, Otab. Now, I know that Sir Morgaine hopefully won't do anything about him, but he's been called to some rest. He's on his way there. I asked him about it, and he just said that apparently a bunch of that list, like a group of escapees, a bunch of them are heading there. He said he was contacted, paid.
And he's heading there. What did they say to make him want to comply?
He just said he was getting paid a nasty sum. If that's one thing about my brother, he likes profit.
Did he seem confused at all, or
No.
like he seemed just himself?
Yeah. But, you know, I know my greedy brother's tongue anywhere. That's it.
Sure.
Just curious.
Thank you.
Walks off.
Sorry. Should pass this on to Morgaine. I just want you to know that I'm going to do that.
Just let her know that my brother's... He likes coin. Okay? I mean, who doesn't? Right? He's not a fighter. He's got some bad bones in his body, but he's got some good ones too. And there's much worse, I imagine, going
Listen,
there.
For what it's worth, there's someone that is much more important for us to have our attention on. I think your brother will be fine, but everybody else needs to know that they're all being called that way, okay?
It makes sense to me. Just remember, he's a fucking coward. You threaten him a little bit, he'll piss his pants, he'll do whatever you say. Don't have to kill him.
Okay.
You want
Thank
this back over.
Yeah, Tack would go to Morgaine basically immediately if Morgaine was awake. Andressa and I were asking after information about Song Rest.
Oh, yes.
And apparently, I assume Kios is contacting some, potentially all of the people on your list, all of the escapees, offering them incredible amounts of money to come to Song Rest right now.
That can't be good.
Just don't know what to be using them for. It seemed important for you to know.
Yes, I suppose we should go through the list in the morning.
Mm. Even if just to mark off who we've seen, who we
Yes.
know the whereabouts of.
Well, I can't say I don't fear for the people of Songrest.
Me too. Sorry, I'll let you get back to sleep.
I shan't be sleeping any longer. I should produce like a braille parchment and just start like going over it.
I'll grab you a drink.
Thank you.
You would have kind of the kind of nighttime pass. You'd be able to read. Next morning comes, you're still kind of journeying up the road a little bit further. Obviously, feel free to untrap me. At some point, though, you would be approached by Shoebill, kind of as a group. And you'd see that Shoebill kind of says to you, like, so I've actually been working on something. I need help with the design because it involves all of you. Along with Solandril, I asked him for some ideas, but he wasn't he came up with a good point as well. We came from Sigenbrat, and I'm wondering if you would all like a tabard or some sort of clasp that would represent all of you. I mean, your image is everything, and I don't know if you can look the part. Maybe more people will be encouraged to join, or maybe better themselves to be even like you. But I don't really know what you'd prefer: a tabard, a clasp, some sort of cloak, or the design. What do you call the 6? What would be your symbol?
It's a really lovely idea. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, as far as workshopping ideas for things is concerned, I don't think we've ever been very good at it. No offense to any of us, but we agonized over a name for our party here and landed on the 6 because it was the automatic name that a tournament gave us. So,
we could try, I don't think of some ideas. Slandra also was going to try and request this, but he didn't bother. But he felt guilty over Sigenbrat. But he believes that maybe this whole camp that we're moving in, now that it's picked up pace, maybe it needs a name. You know, inspire people to join it. So, a design and a name. Guess you
start thinking about it.
Okay. Should head back and be like, I'll work on some design myself, and kind of go back to sewing up some tabards and whatnot.
All right, we cannot mess this one up. We messed up the 6 and we're stuck with it forever. All right.
Why do you feel we messed it up?
I just feel like the fact that it was something that was just so uncomfortable for us as a group, and then we just kind of stuck with because we kept hearing it over and over again. I feel like this time around we have a chance to kind of really get something. I mean, I can't think of anything. I'm completely drawing a blank. But I think someone here, maybe like an ideas person, could.
I mean, I don't think that they're expecting us to say the town is now called 6.
I don't want to go up there and say the town's called Sixburg or something, because I think that's...
I also think that's an insanely ugly name, so yes.
That's so funny.
But, numbers have meanings as well. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that long until you guys arrived at Silverleaf. You passed through the West Marsh. West Marsh is not exactly dangerous if you stay on the road. They kind of build above. You can see where your campsite awkwardly at points does have to kind of go along these massive bridges that go over marshland, and they have the kind of safety points which are almost walled in, not essentially towns, but almost like campsites built for people to just stop off their camps and whatnot. But you would arrive on the kind of exterior areas of Silverleaf. Silverleaf is a long town with quite a small wall. It's built literally across the long road. It's probably the longest town you've ever seen. It goes for a few miles all the way across the road, with never really expanding that far outward. Very thin town. When you kind of first go there, you see it has open gates, very small walls, only designed to maybe keep creatures, not raiders or conquerors, out. Because you'll see the kind of very general theme of Silverleaf is that it's kind of it's a town of debates, it's a town of words and kind of people kind of talking out in diplomacy. And the time which you arrive is during a kind of a festival of sorts. It is the week of debates, and so you can see people are kind of walking along, just randomly talking to people, posing a question that would start some sort of debate. So you would immediately kind of get hit by stuff you'd see another hobgoblin would approach you, Carlo, and your group and say, I pose you a question. Does a town benefit from a hag?
From a hag?
Yes.
The monster that eats people?
But the few people that get eaten, is that worth the extra apothecary research? Sometimes they can aid. Besides, it can bring in tourism and the potential of adventurers that could get paid, and, most of them would go missing, but they spend money at the shops.
Right. Didn't you lot meet with the hag? And Carlisle's going to push this off to the fucking other group and keep looking for a fucking potion seller.
Yeah, it kind of turns into the other group and says, I pose you all the question, does a town benefit from a hag? And it kind of throws it over to you guys. On your way there to the potion shop, Carlisle, you'd get another person going, like a little gnome. Where do the gods go when they die? You're kind of walking past.
Walking faster. He's walking faster. If people keep on coming up to me, he's going to start sneaking there. He has to.
Someone kind of steps in front of you. Do elves live a long time? Or is everyone else that live short time? And then you're dodging around it. You finally get into the potion shop. You get to the potion shop. You can see the doors locked. You can hear from inside. No, we're closed. We're closed during the week of debates.
No, please. I have to buy potions today.
You see, it's kind of a little kind of goblin man kind of walks up. He's got tufts of hair down his left side of his face. Quickly unlocks 3 things. Looks at him and goes, no bloody questions, you understand? Kind of lets you inside.
Here, yeah.
As someone's walking past, they're like, should we live in a Sunforged? And he kind of closes off the door and looks at What can I do you for?
I'm looking for healing potions.
Okay.
Ideally, a little bit better than normal. Graders, if you have them. But I'll take normals as well.
Sure. Is that all you want? Just any of those? Okay. He wanders over into the back, kind of looks through his kind of category. He would have a lot of healing potions. Let me find the price. He would say to you, standard potions of healing will net you about 50 gold pieces. Let me see what the standard price is here. He looks at the greater ones. You wanted a greater at the max, right?
Yeah, he's looking for graders right now.
Okay.
If they have higher, I'll judge it off of price, but mainly I'm looking to restock graders.
He would say 50 gold for normal healing potions. You get there's about 5 of those. We'll do this. We'll do there's 8 healing potions, 4 greater, 2 superior. Greater would net you, it'd be costing 250 per, and superior costs 1k.
Okay. I'm gonna do all 4 greater and 1 superior.
Okay.
I've got a pretty good amount of money now, so that's gonna be 2,000 gold.
Yep.
And Carlisle won't even haggle because he knows this guy's had a long day today, and he doesn't feel like doing anything about it.
Give me just a general kind of just persuasion check by your persona. Because he's going to take it, and I'll give you advantage on this because you didn't come in here debating. He's kind of got, he's almost got he's excited to have a customer that's not going to disturb him. 18. He'd knock off 200 gold, so you can do 1,800. He kind of just gives you a nice little deal, throws in your a free one, or mostly, and he's like, I appreciate you not asking anything. Goes up and unlocks the door.
Appreciate you too. Have a good day now.
Carlisle sneaks out.
yeah. You close the door and you can hear the locks go off behind you. Other things, other kind of shops and things going on here. I would say if there's anything you guys want to shop for, then you got general stores, armor smiths, all that kind of good stuff here. Unique things going on. There's a theater performance. You can see it's kind of like the D&D version of Cats. It's just tabaxi. But it's not that interesting because they're just people. So it's just kind of a little story about a group of these cat people. You've got a unique shop which is called Wee Mockeries, which seems to sell almost these vicious mockery variants on little kind of almost fortune cookie styled little pamphlet kind of scrolls. So if you want any of those, you can get those. Otherwise, it's just normal shops that you can go to.
Otherwise, you can just move on through the town.
What was you said fortune cookie thing?
Wee mockeries. It's basically you can go there and buy
okay.
these like unique versions of vicious mockeries. It's almost like potions,
Okay,
like
I see.
scrolls.
I see.
That's very funny.
I don't need anything. I mean, I would love to find more ways to cheekily boost my AC, but I don't think we're gonna find that here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the kind of town where you're gonna find too many magical items. It'll be mostly kind of spoken words like that one.
Yeah. I don't need anything. Do you guys need anything?
This was just a quick pit stop for me.
Yeah, I don't think
potions.
so. I've been looking up gnomish words for things.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I'm going to pretend that's also what TAC is doing. Like, still just brainstorming ideas.
Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, your town would kind of go through, sell up some stuff, buy some stuff up. We'll do like Bastion stuff next time, just when everyone's here. Just like as a quick, like super fast cleanse over. But this would like be a good stopper point for your town to kind of basically restock, get supplies. A couple extra merchants like maybe joining the town just as a kind of means of experiencing the kind of trip up north and the safety of it. But otherwise, yeah, you could pass through Silverleaf with not much of a concern along the way.
I didn't much like that place.
One of the last ones you would have seen is like a guy who's, I'd say, Carlisle, you can do an insight check. Someone would come up to you, this kind of like tiefling-looking fellow, and just say, "Are devils evil? Are they the same as any beast hunting its prey?" And you could
Insight 23.
you definitely get the hint that this guy is a devil. A lesser one admits, but he's trying to almost play the propaganda card right now and build up this idea that the devils are fine. He goes around just debating the same thing over and over. So you're going to get this like midst of just people enjoying this week. But Silverleaf is a town you guys would pass through fairly fast to get to the other side. A week into your journey or so, you're now kind of, or probably a couple of weeks is the halfway mark. You're now kind of approaching the kind of mountainous area that brings you up closer to Songrest. The last little interaction I'll give you before we take just a small break would be Vanderval would probably come up to your group and say, "Are you lot busy?
Particularly.
No.
I need kind of some backup in the background. We're being called together. It's the first time I've going to be speaking to all of the others. The other apprentices of Oromodo. And I like to look like I've got some muscle in the background, so I'd appreciate if you guys could do that."
You just need us
Is it
to
like
be there?
right now kind of thing?
Yes, it's happening in about 10 minutes from now. You can see like Richard is waiting on the doorstep of his shop, and he's wearing like an hourglass costume to stress out Vanderval, and the kind of sand's like pouring down onto the bottom part of it. And there's like almost like a little sly smirk on Richard. Yep. You see Vanderval's just kind of like sweating, rubbing his hands together.
You just want us to stand there and look tough.
I guess so, and well, maybe there's another request.
Yes.
What would that one be?
I will help. I mean, we can make a deal on this, but I would need you guys, when the time comes, you did say you'd help, that when I'm called to my challenge against the others, that you'd back me up. And so I've kind of told them that I was going to show off my adventuring party friends that I've hired.
His adventuring party. Huh?
Yeah, we did say we'd help you. I'm not busy. I'll if it's just standing, I can do that for you.
Sure. Yeah, just standing. Okay.
Is it just standing? I'm inciting him. Is it just standing? Because that made me feel uncomfortable. 23. It's just standing, right?
He looks very nervous about the idea of just standing. He's definitely not laying on everything.
if there's something we gotta do other than standing, you should probably let us know before we're there.
Okay. It's kind of like a almost like a sign up, if you will. This is kind of at this point. It's my turn, essentially. I've watched the others, and they're basically all tuning into me now and seeing who I'm bringing into the midst. They'll be watching via their orbs on a Modo as well, though you won't see him. He likes to keep to himself. Probably won't even speak, but I would appreciate if any of you have got any witty repartee, because they're going to let me have it if you guys look weak. So it is kind of just standing. It's just more agreeing to help me in this definitely affair that might take all of our lives.
Well, I'm not much for the witty comebacks or anything, but I'm sure the others can take care of that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you this, though. I'll hook you in. If I win this challenge, I've learned what exactly I do win, and that is I get granted a great wish by Oromoto himself.
From this right now.
No, if we win the challenge. So I'll hook you guys into that. Obviously, we'd have to word it right, but... All right. Let's get going. And he kind of heads into his shop, and you can see that he's got, 3 plinths laid out. Each of them has an orb on them as well. One's kind of a reddish color, another one's kind of this earthen kind of brown, and another one is blue. And he stands there kind of in the center. And magic kind of seeps into the store. And you get this immediate moment where you just see all these faces appear, these 3 faces, on each of the orbs in the center. You can hear that kind of his music kicks in. And you'd see on the left one is this red genasi, kind of fiery hair, this fire genasi girl, who kind of comes in with a very bitter face. It's almost like the orb shapes around to kind of make this illusion of this face. The glass is kind of moving and talking. In the center one, you can see a kind of earthen rocky fellow. He's kind of almost got cracks on his skin, and he's an earth genasi. And then the last one, fins and kind of a little bit more of a skinny face. You can see that this kind of very kind of kindly looking woman, but a little bit more kind of sly, she's kind of squinting and staring at the others, waiting to kind of mock Vanderval, is this water genasi. Each 3 of the faces kind of molding into the orbs so they can speak to them. Vanderval says, "Welcome, my fellow apprentices. It's my time to establish myself in the terms, and I bring before you my great champions." And he kind of turns and looks his head over towards Carlisle and V, Morgaine, Tak, Androssa, and Desmond as a group.
We do I feel like we have to do some kind of performance check of some kind for our actual general vibe.
Can I roll for aura?
Yeah, let's do an aura check.
Aura check.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask each one of you what you're doing, and I'll give you a different roll based on that. So, let's
do
go.
a Dragon Ball Z style pose, or...
If you want to do that, yeah.
The Ginyu Force.
Let's go through each of you and see. Everyone roll a d20, and we'll just go down who rolls the highest down to lowest. So what you are doing, and I'll give you each an individual roll.
Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay.
4.
12.
Okay.
Good roll so far.
14.
Okay. Tak, you're up first. What are you doing to kind of look the part?
I think Tak already has kind of a severe face.
Mm-hmm.
Like a massive resting bitch face person.
Mm-hmm.
So if I think they've tried to sort of stand in a really firm, imposing way, and their face is just kind of adding to it,
Give me an intimidation check with charisma.
Okay.
As a kind of just general kind of intimidation.
Amazing.
And that's 20.
They're immediately nervous of your presence when you do that. You can see you're accidentally you can see the one in the middle who looks really worried, the Earth Genasi. You see he almost creates condensation around the cracks in his skin. It just begins sweating down as he looks across you. V, what are you doing?
I'd like for this to be an athletics check when I get to it. But yeah, V would pull her sword off of her back and flourish it, do a big twirl. And this thing is fucking massive. And then at the end of it, lean it forward, towards the orbs.
Okay, yeah. Give me an athletics check.
All right.
So how skillfully you do it?
14, 15, I guess.
It's good enough to kind of show off your prowess, but maybe it's just because it's been a week and a bit. You haven't really got much use of it yet. There's an awkwardness in the room where you don't want to hit your friends as well. So you do flourish it pretty well, but you definitely don't float around as easy as you can. There's definitely still a concern across some of them, which they're they realize that they've got kind of a tough group up ahead against them. What are you doing, Morgan?
With an 8, facing slightly the wrong way.
No, you can. This is just your order. This is your order to go in. This is your order to go in. Yeah. It's just what would you do to? You can do that if you like, still, regardless. But
she's doing that, but it's giving the impression of she is so unimpressed by them that she's not facing the right
so
direction.
Uncaring.
yeah, give me just a persuasion check.
19.
Yeah, you can see across some of their faces, they're kind of eyeing you up. There's a moment where Darish, who's the kind of angry, stubborn one, kind of looks oh, hang on. Dreadful Warden. Vanderval, you've outdone yourself. And their eyes kind of glimmer over towards Carlisle. What are you doing?
Carlisle's trying to do a complicated knife trick with one of his scalpels.
Oh,
I want to try to do sleight of hand. I want to try to do a really fancy, sitting there doing a knife trick.
Go for it.
24.
Yeah, flinging it around, scalpel going around. You can hear the kind of twirling. There's a moment where the light catches it and kind of glimmers it around as well. You can twirl it on your finger as much as it is. And they just feel this skiffle. And you can hear this kind of visible gulp come from the one in the center. And Vanderval picks up and goes, "Ah, Chestermark, you weak bastard. I feel too indicted by my companions here. The 6 are a formidable lot. You probably have already heard of them." Darish goes, "No, we haven't." "Well then, you've been spending too much time not doing anything, Darish. You should be preparing more, because I've got the best group around. This is my group. They are going to be signing up to the challenges put forth. And when I get that great wish, you can all wish that I was never your adversary." And you see all of them just kind of look across. Chestermark is shitting themselves. He's the one in the center. He's actually worried about who's up against here. The one towards the right goes, "Vanderval, Oromotho always knew that you were the one who could not establish things on themselves. Transmutation magic has always been your go-to, but your magical items won't save you against us. Okay, Silverleaf, no one fucking asked you any questions, okay? I'm showing off the 6. I saw your adventuring party, okay? No one's ever fucking heard of them. The glamorous 6? My ones are much better. What were yours called again?" They were called I don't give a fuck, Silverleaf. So, these are the ones that I'm signing up for. Oromodo, I know you can hear me. Great Master. They will accept themselves now. Please, the 6. If you could introduce yourselves individually and pledge yourselves to our battle." Have turns to you. Just say your
Go in the order. Go in the order that
Same
we.
orders before.
Yeah.
Sure. Did he tell us exactly what to say?
No, he just said
No.
say our names and pledge ourselves to the battle.
I think Tack already has this really look on their face. So they kind of stare at him for a sec and say, "My name is Tack, and I pledge myself to this battle."
Ah.
I'm V, and I pledge myself to this battle.
Okay. Okay. So Morgan.
Oh. Morgaine, Dreadwarden of Verland. Pledge myself to this battle.
Okay, so it's Carlisle.
Carlisle Davenport, and I pledge myself to this battle.
Good. We'll see what Desmond and Dross say next time. I'll ask them personally, just in case. But it kind of waits for everyone to be done and goes, turns his back and goes, and that is the 6 that I am putting in. And you hear this kind of voice then overcome. And then in the center, the magic of the kind of orbs like seep together, and this form appears, like almost like smoke building this kind of shape in the center. Only a floating head. You see this kind of bald head, almost like tattooed up with 4 different colors. Red, blue, kind of an earthen brown. And then this kind of almost like thunderous kind of almost like surface level cyan. And it kind of accumulates in the center where all these kind of elements are like floating around like a halo around the top of this person's head. It's just a kind of smoky form that doesn't really depict too many features, but it seems to be kind of this head that's floating. And it says, and I am Olamodo the Great, the Grandiose. Each of you has pledged your groups, your champions. You bring forth with your magic, and the tests of Olamodo shall begin shortly. When you are ready, you may call upon yourselves to be summoned to my realms. Only one of you will be granted the Great Wish. The others shall fall. And that last remaining one shall be my permanent apprentice. It is finally time to prove yourselves. My 4. And fades off. Each of the orbs kind of remains there. Darisha says, good luck to you 3. But I do believe I'll be winning this one. Thesriv kind of nods her head and goes, and best of luck to you as well, Darisha. And you, Chestermark? Vanderval. Hers fades first, and then Darisha. Chestermark just goes, is it too late to pull out? And he kind of, his fades back. Vanderval. Oh, fuck, you guys, we might die. We might all die.
I don't know, I think that went pretty well.
I mean, you guys look tough as fuck, which is great. I'm just a little worried about, we don't really know what these challenges are going to be. And,
You have no idea.
the idea is that we were meant to go off and learn magic for years and years, all schools of magic, so that we can potentially be put forth into the ultimate challenge of magic. I decided to learn transmutation first, and no other.
Okay, well, I don't know any magic, so I'm not going to be able to help much with any challenges that involve magic. If you tell me to go get someone, I could probably go get someone.
Fantastic. I mean,
Get in a fight.
it's like conjuration, just slow paced. With all of you, I mean, we will work something out, but I get to choose when we start. So that's good. So whenever you're ready, you come on top of my shoulder and we'll get going.
How much more trip do we have? This doesn't feel like something that would be like, yeah, let's like do
right now.
like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like if this is like another couple weeks of this like trip to Songres, to me, this doesn't sound like we should leave this sitting here, because I don't know if it doesn't sound like there's as much time as he claims.
Yeah, I think we should. This is probably good to prioritize on our journey
Yeah.
instead of doing it later.
If you want to do it soon, come to me and before we get to Songras. Maybe we could use the witch for something there. The grand. Our little adventure. We take on the world. And Oramoto is going to be so damn proud of me. And us.
Yeah. Are you anxious about, like, if we do win, hopefully, that Oramoto is going to find out that you don't really know any magics very effectively other than transmutation?
What's what I was going to use the wish for? was going to say, teach me all the schools of magic. I wish to know all of the schools of magic to an adept level.
I thought we were going to be cut into that wish.
Wouldn't you be taught anyway if we won?
That's what I'm hoping.
You'd become his apprentice, no?
That's true. Oromodo, he's very powerful. When he discovered us, we were just children kind of taken from our homes. But he informed us that we came from broken, decimated homes, and he saved us all. But he has the power of 4 noble genies within him. He's that strong. He managed to convince all of them, tricked all of them to give them his power. Oh, sorry, the other way around. They give their power to him. Under his apprentice and scholarly focus, I'll be the greatest mage there's ever been. And then I can help you guys. You know.
Why did you only learn transmutation?
In truth, Oromodo, when he sent us out, was decades ago. He said we had time. I never really wanted to do this challenge. In all honesty, I was kind of just going to try and hide. Sounds dangerous. I just enjoyed transmutation magic. I was good at it. And I suppose I was scared. You know, maybe I could just keep delaying. But no more delaying now. Shit. But with your help, with all of you 6, maybe we will survive. I give us a 12% chance.
Right.
Just kidding. It's at least 30.
And that's the discount we expect afterwards.
Oh, you got it. You get me through this thing. 35. Let's not push the bank too much. Maybe I don't need to be a magical shop owner anymore. Once it's done, I get to live in the elemental plane, studying under the greatest mage ever. My dream.
Seems like that makes it really sad.
Yeah. Do you get a choice?
Can I insight check him?
Yeah, I'd insight that for sure. It's a 30.
21.
Yeah, you can clearly see this is not what he wants.
If you win, can you reject being an apprentice?
Tell him no? I don't know how he'd react. Well, I mean, of course I want to do it. It's Oromodo. The greatest mage I ever to have lived. Surely I wanted to do it.
Well, I don't know. It seems like you're just saying you want to do it over and over again. That doesn't look that way.
I want to do it. I want to do it.
A part-time thing.
Once you kind of accept his service, you're kind of expected to be with him practically until he passes the torch. Expected to live there, serve him, learn from him constantly, shadow him. I think I really get much of a choice.
It sounds like you will be trapped.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like he's ever given you much of a choice, considering he, in your own words, essentially abducted you.
Yes, it's not like you could use your wish spell to bind him to your store.
Hang on a minute now.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was kidding.
Right. Interesting. Okay. I'll see you guys when you're ready.
What were you going to wish for?
I don't know. I suppose, part of me wanted to wish you just let me go. Part of me also wants to wish for a giant castle in the sky. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I would have any chance of winning, so I didn't really have hope about the wish. I thought I could keep putting it off. And so maybe he just decides, well, to change his mind. But, with you lot in tow, I suppose I should start thinking about that wish. Our wish. Yeah, maybe I could find a way to benefit you guys as well.
We are benefited when you are here, traveling with us.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
What would the Six do without Vanderval?
God, you can't give him anything without like this shit.
Me trying to be like, don't be an apprentice. We need you here. That's how you can benefit us with your wish. And him just being like, glaze.
He's projecting, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you guys get to it. I'm gonna...
On that note, have a think about what items in your shop we can use on these challenges.
Good idea. Alone, of course. Yes. Alone. Okay, well, all right. And Richard, get out that fucking outfit. It's already over. You just see he's in the corner watching with the hourglass is already deflated now, almost coming down. And thank you, Six.
Yeah.
All right. Fancy a goodbye scroll of any kind? Discount? I'm sorry. Charm
We're good
person.
right now.
Okay. All right. And he goes back to kind of restocking his shelves. With that being said, we'll take a little 5-minute break, and then we'll come back. We'll play for another, 20 minutes or so after that, just to let the others come in, just so we have a little bit of a meat episode. But we'll probably finish this up just before you get to song rest. So if there's anything else you'd like to do on the road, you let me know. Obviously, if you want to do the Vanderval thing on the road, that'll be done before we get to song rest. So
Yeah, it's hard because we
Without
clearly
missing,
need
yeah.
to.
Yeah, we need to
talk as a
establish that
group.
with the others. It makes sense to me, but yeah.
Let's say we'll do it next session
Okay.
before song rest.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's take a little 5-minute break, and then we'll do a last little kind of bit before we get to the Vanderval bit then. All right. I'll see you guys in 5. All right, chat. We're going to be muted up for a second. Go get yourselves a drink and stuff. It'll be a short episode today just because we're missing a couple. And I don't want anyone to miss the next couple of episodes because they're pretty big. So, be right back.
All right, chat. Let me bring up the thing, and we'll get the last tiny bit of the episode going. Okay, hello. Welcome
Hi, Joe.
back. Hello. So, with everyone coming back, was there anything you guys, just give you a recap, you guys are on your way over towards, Song Rest, but on the way you're planning to go into Vanderval's kind of challenge realm. But before that, is there anything you guys want to do on the long road? Otherwise, we'll have one last little encounter.
I don't think I do.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Via Morgan, anything?
No, I'm good. I think
Okay.
currently.
Then the last kind of moments is like before. I imagine like you'd want to go on like before going to getting through like one path and whatnot. Maybe your kind of camp stops off there before you go to Vanderval's. But before that, a couple of nights before, you're on the road, and you get this group traveling along. And they're coming from kind of the mountainous portions, which separate the long road from the land without light. It's unusual to see people kind of traveling from this area because it's a lot of kind of winding paths that head into those mountains. They're usually kind of it's a dangerous way to go through. A lot of people don't travel up there. It's kind of the no man's land. It's kind of a place of no civilization of the Luxian kind. You would see a small escort. Two people on kind of like stretchers. And a group of maybe 7 in total, with 2 of them injured, being kind of carried. Wheeling along a small cage. Inside the cage, you would see a handsome man with a kind of almost like a forked-like beard, black beard, black hair that's kind of a little bit slicked back on his head, but kind of rough and a bit greasy, wearing kind of almost ragged clothing that depicts like he kind of wears like the skinned, kind of cured leathers of hunts and less so kind of actual like tailored gear. It looks like the person is not of kind of civilized society inside the cage. Pinkish eyes. The hair he has is kind of almost like almost this kind of black with like a softish red in it. And at the kind of front of this group, walking on a slight hobble, but kind of pushing on, is a half-orc, quite broad fellow. He's a kind of a great sword on his back, which he kind of keeps like on hooks behind, where he can like unhook it and like unfoil it. He's wearing plate armor, kind of stepping in, and he's got this kind of Luxian symbol of the Sunforged on his kind of chest. It's almost kind of like over one of his shoulders. Almost kind of looks like he's trying to be knightly, but he's kind of more of a militaristic sort. And the half-orc kind of shouts out to your caravan as he comes down your campsite, as they're wheeling this kind of prisoner down. Alongside him looks like almost like priests. Carlisle, you'd recognize them as kind of Luxian priests, wearing kind of robes and whatnot. He looks like he's like probably the only soldier among them, and the others are all kind of priests, and 2 people on the kind of the stretchers are also soldiers. And he goes, "You there? Campsite. Under the laws of Lux, we demand shelter.
Oh my god.
You'll give us
Have
food
any of
and
us-
water." There's 7 in total, including the injured ones, and then the captive. It would be 8. You'll give us food and water, and a place to rest our heads for the night. As much as we defit.
Joe, I would know the laws of Lux. Is this?
Yeah, I feel like
is this accurate?
This is something which is technically considered something you like noble people are expected to do to anyone who are like priests of Lux or like Luxian soldiers who demand kind of home. It's usually done in a polite manner, like housing someone that is in the pursuit of the gods, and in the name of the kind of the sun children. This is definitely a more brash way of doing it, and also not everyone necessarily follows it. It's kind of a noble house thing. It's kind of a give people entry, and you know they might come up. There's stories. Give me like a history check. Actually, I'll give you a kind of a general means of it.
18.
There's also stories of like soldiers who have taken advantage of this. They've literally gone into like farmhouses and like stolen food, eaten extra food. You know, there's been fights over wives, husbands, and all sorts of this kind of stuff. Soldiers who take advantage. Also, priests who are kindly and help people. It's kind of considered the right of kind of almost bringing someone into your house to give them bread and whatnot. It is an old law, not necessarily something that can be punished unless it's like of a serious offense. But definitely something which is considered kind of like the old ways and like what you're expected to do for people who represent it.
Okay.
Well, frankly, we would have offered that to you even if you hadn't put it in such a way. But yeah, we have plenty of food.
Good. We'll be taking our tents over to that side. And then you kind of move. And they can't start wheeling the person inside of the cage over that way. You won't understand us. My name is Arcoil. I'm a remnant soldier of the Spear of Victory. That is our prisoner, a prisoner of Lux. You will not speak to them. You will not ask questions of any of my priests. You let us go on about our business. Now.
Right.
Meat and meat. Where?
Food's over that way.
He just wanders over towards that.
And soldier,
Kind of turns his head. Yes?
should you disrespect anyone in my camp, you will not be staying here the night.
Roll an intimidation check.
Get him.
Get him.
I'll re-roll it. Human.
Okay.
14.
Kind of arches his head up. You can see there's a slight bit of him that you realize he's been challenged. He goes, I would remind you, sir. As I said, I am Luxian, part of the Spear of Victory expedition. It is not disrespectful.
And you speak with a dread warden, not that you have deigned to ask.
You respect our privacy, I respect your camp. He kind of turns and wanders straight over towards the...
Does Carlisle recognize the name of that expedition?
I was wondering that too.
Yeah, Spirit of Victory, you said?
Spear of Victory.
Spear of Victory.
No. Give me a history check, Carlisle.
Okay. 6.
Yeah, you've not heard of anything of that name. Doesn't ring a bell. You can do one as well if you want, V, because you're
Yeah.
of the land with that light too.
10.
No, still nothing. And you've
A Desmond touch of brilliance on that, I think.
I mean, you can do because it's going to be a def. You can do that if you want to push that
True,
up to.
just to get some info.
Yeah,
Sure.
Desmond's really helpful on that roll.
Yeah, it's
specifically.
true.
Yeah.
Sure, it's fine. That makes sense to me. You'd heard a lot about who comes up towards the land without light. There's definitely some expeditions who are more helpful. They come in trying to give like food and supplies and try and encourage. There's definitely some which have come in with the intention of like capturing villainous behavior. But the Spear of Victory is not one you've ever heard of. It's seemingly new.
Okay. I would relay that as privately as possible to my companions. Just that I've heard of expeditions coming up, some with good intentions, some with not so good, but I've never heard of this one. It might be new.
Well, Tell you what, I'll keep an eye on them tonight.
Morgaine,
Yes.
if I described the prisoner to you, would you know if it was on your list?
I should hope so. I studied it all last night.
I would describe the appearance of the guy in the cage.
Doesn't fit anyone.
No, I can't say it rings a bell.
Is it pink eyes?
Yeah.
Pink eyes and black hair with a red
Interesting.
hue.
Yeah.
Description. Yeah.
V and Carla, you can give me an insight check.
Okay.
26.
16.
Maybe you would have like spoken about different tribes that existed up there, but Carla, you specifically do remember one. It doesn't fit. The pinkish eyes and this kind of like hueish red hair doesn't fit necessarily a kind of a male individual. Definitely kind of a womanly figure who was kind of almost seen like one of the Prelux gods, a devilish succubus who had her own tribe in the kind of land without light. It was kind of northwest in the Doran Wilds of from Outer Dusk, and it traded fairly well with the town. It didn't seem to be one that was kind of a concern. They never would try to conquer, and they're kind of known for the being kind of the ones that would trade potions and kind of like alchemy supplies through there as well, creating all sorts of manners from like the flowers that grew in the wilds. This is kind of seemingly someone that matches a similar description. They have some sort of blood that might be succubi in them themselves. But strange to see them kind of like... That was definitely a non-hostile tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So this could potentially be a situation of we're just trying to get rid of them because they're succubi.
Right. Yeah, or something.
Yeah.
Well, it's the old religion excuse. It's like,
Right.
That's what I
It's like,
mean.
you don't
Yeah.
worship.
you
Well, I
bastardize
worship.
Lux, and so I'm gonna
Yeah.
imprison you.
Yeah.
There's definitely enough stuff that's not like really adding up, like from like a this seems all on the up and up, that Carlisle
Yeah.
would keep a very close eye on these people, even if it means being quite stealthy about it for the
Mhm.
evening.
Mm-hmm.
Morgaine will also instruct the camp guards to keep an eye on them disrespecting members of the camp, particularly the orc.
Yeah. And you can see the orc is kind of... He does just like takes food where he wants it and kind of like eats. He goes and like sets up a tent nearest the cage, goes inside. Carla, how close are you getting to like the whole area?
I think he'd get quite close. He's in a place he's pretty familiar with in this camp, and he is quite sneaky. So I think he'd get quite close.
You could see some of the priests are kind of like... a few of them like looking over the wounded soldiers. One of the priests says, like a kind of young lady says, try and find if there's a doctor around this camp somewhere. See if they've got a cleric or anything to help heal these two. And then one of the priests kind of goes off into the camp to like look around. Meanwhile, the orc is kind of like... you see him kind of come out one time. Give me a stealth check.
Okay. 24.
You can get close enough to eavesdrop, and you are kind of like in the midst of the camp. You can hear they've kind of like they're off to the side away from the camp, but you kind of got close enough through like the trees and whatnot. You can see the orc kind of steps down and goes, well, Alvanik, this is the long road. And it's a long road back down to Neverset. When we get there, you'll be hanged by your neck in front of a whole display of people in the city. Your ilk have run along long enough. You don't think we'd make it to civilization? Well, it is. Welcome. You're going to be seeing it for the next 100 miles or so. Count them. They'll be your last. Make sure no one comes near the camp in general. You see a single person come near this cage, gut him. He wanders back inside his tent. Leaves only like a priest on guard. Yeah, those are kind of being tended to. So you got kind of 2 of the priests tending to the 2 wounded, with one guarding and the other one's gone into the camp to find a doctor. You can see the person inside the cage just kind of kept silent the whole time, looking kind of solemn, looks around, looking at the campsite, kind of almost like peering around. Give me an insight check.
Okay. 30.
They look kind of defeated, scared, almost coming to terms with whatever's coming.
Mm.
They don't look like a fighter.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of like understanding that without more context to what's happening here, it's not like it is our place to be like, stop right there, let that person out of the cage. So what Carlisle's gonna do instead is go follow the person who left to look for a doctor and like introduce himself properly so he can continue to be around this group tonight by like tending to their wound instead and trying to pull more information that way.
You see this human man, kind of in middle ages. He's kind of got a balding head, leaving it to kind of like come in this grayish like cowl around the side of his hair, the hair growing out. He turns to you and sorry, do you know if there's a doctor around here?
Oh, yeah, that would be me, actually.
Good. If you don't mind, we have 2 injured over in our camp over that way.
Yeah, sure, I'll come over and take a look.
Okay. He wanders alongside you. Yes, I believe one of them was stabbed with kind of a jagged blade, and then the other one was blasted with a nasty bit of fire. Lots of burns across their chest. That one doesn't look like he's going to make it. The other one, though...
Okay, I guess we'll see about that.
Very well. He kind of brings you closer into the camp. You're walking past the cage, and you notice as the man named Elvanic, the kind of succubus in there, kind of watches you as you go past. He then takes you down to like the injured who are literally within a few feet of the cage. And you'd see... Give me a medicine check.
Okay. 24.
The one on the left has been cut with like kind of like almost like a long like machete like blade. It's jagged. It looks like the wound across his chest is starting to become a little bit infected, and they're kind of trying to clean it and they're restitching it. The one on the right has had serious like burns, almost like by like a fireball or a firebolt, where it's kind of almost impulsed against him. Looks pretty close to death. Like they're trying to kind of keep him sedated and give him like kind of ointments. But both are savable. One of them's a bit harder to save than the other. Just depending on what kind of medicines have used.
Carlisle will try to save both of them with the resources he can. It's his job.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, give me just a medicine check for each one. The DC for the one who's just got a cut and that you just have to redress the wound and whatnot would only be about a 12, and then the other one's going to be a 20.
29 for the first one.
Okay.
Second one is also a 29.
Yeah. You with your just... I mean, you've also done battle scars. You've also done battle wounds. You've been there kind of in the midst of it. This is elementary to you. This is kind of like your forte. This is something which you feel way more comfortable in than even like battle fighting. You managed to stitch the wound and clean up that wound and kind of readdress it, putting your own kind of salves and whatnot on there. You can see that guy already comes down. And then the other one, you've probably dealt with a lot of burn marks as well, especially magical of their nature as well. You can also create your own salves and kind of clean that up as well. And you can see his breathing kind of returns to normal. You can see his burns will remain there, but definitely only scar tissue as opposed to anything more serious. You can almost like mend to it, and even if you want to, throw any of your own kind of actual healing to kind of help medicate them both. But the whole time,
I think he would for sure.
Yeah, then you'd stabilize both of them. It looks like they're both going to live. The whole time, they're kind of, once you like stabilize one, the kind of priests start kind of wandering around looking for food themselves, and leaving like the guard on the cage nearby, knowing that kind of like they can almost like take into account that you must be trustworthy and just a doctor. The person in the cage looks across to you and says, "Excuse me." What is this place like down here? You hear the kind of priest go, stop talking, you're not meant to be talking. Quiet. What are you or the orc going to do to me? Allow me one conversation.
You mean, down south from the land without light?
Is it truly this horrible?
Well, I haven't, I spent a lot of time in the land without light, and I also spent a lot of time south. Both are hard and scary in their own different kinds of ways, but it's not. I don't think this place is horrible down here. Sorry that you're not really getting a good first impression of it.
Last impression too, I suppose. Yeah. They tell me I'm going to be hanged. It's apparently something these Southerners do.
Well, usually for a good reason.
Suppose if the reason is not bending the knee to a bunch of expeditionary forces. Even after everything we did for all of them. The priest is like, you've been told to keep quiet. Then go and tell him. The priest's going to look side to side, realizing he can't really leave the cart. Just stop encouraging him towards you, Carla.
I just want to insight. Like, does it look like there's more to this than like he's leading on with what actually happened, or if that's like from his perspective all there was to it? That's a nat 20.
Within that 20, you can see that he is dejected and he feels like this is a person that has grown up in the north, like with some proximity to people from the south, having never seen beyond the land without light. But he is in total belief that they were attacked unjustly. That he is just the result of a cruel attack. Fully kind of believes with conviction. Like at this point, he's just defeated and he's just kind of venting.
Well, I'm sorry this is the way things have played out for you.
Carlisle's going to try to not encourage this further, but my intention will be to investigate this further, but I don't think there's much he's going to gain from talking more here with this guy, especially since he doesn't want to antagonize the priests or the half-orc right now. So I think once the others are stabilized, the two soldiers, he'd probably go tell everyone else that this is giving him really bad vibes now.
Yeah, something's off about those folks that came in to me.
Aside from their attitude.
The attitude, the fact that, I mean, V, you don't recognize that expedition. Neither do I. As far as what that prisoner said, it doesn't seem like, from everything I gathered from their whole demeanor, that they are a criminal or they've done anything really wrong. According to them, they just refused to bend the knee to those folks, so to speak. I don't know, based off the way that half-orc treating us, I wouldn't be shocked if he gave people that weren't from here far worse treatment.
But where are they taking the prisoner?
They're taking him to Never Set to be hanged.
Hanged?
Yep, to the gallows.
For not believing what they believe.
Something along those lines. I don't know, I wasn't able to get much more. There was, one of the priests was there. I didn't really want to antagonize them.
So Morgaine, are there any laws that we could, I don't know, utilize right now for this? I don't know.
laws are, well, they vary from place to place, and some laws are so old that they're rarely acted upon. For instance, the law he demanded. We were under no obligation to feed and shelter them.
Is there any sort of trouble we could get into if we freed the prisoner after accepting them in?
Well, not if they don't figure out who did it.
She glances at Carlisle.
Expeditions like this, they are funded. And oftentimes they need to come back with results to continue to be funded. Seems more commonplace to me that this person might just be the scapegoat for a failed expedition.
Forgive me. What do they plan to tell the people when they bring this prisoner home? That they've done some sort of justice?
Whatever they need to, V, to justify what they want to do to him. And the people will believe it.
It is not fair.
No. No, sometimes it's not.
Yeah. All these expeditions, if they are a real one, are quite case by case on what their goals are. Any run-in I've had with one of those more militant ones has usually had pretty similar end goals. I can try to get them out, but we don't have the full picture of what actually happened, and it is hard to elect to put ourselves as a target of the church as well. It isn't exactly very appealing.
Yeah.
I trust you, V, and I trust Carlisle. All I'll say is, our camp has been through a lot in these last few days. So whatever you do, try not to involve them. And of course, if that brute starts swinging, I'll put him on his ass.
I just think above board that there's nothing, Carlisle could definitely stealthily get this guy out. That I'm quite confident that I can do that. I don't think there's a way that the half-orc doesn't escalate and hurt someone.
I agree.
If he escapes, no matter who he saw do it, or if he saw nobody, he would still blame us and come after us. So it's like the issue's him. Everyone else in his group are pushovers. It's just him.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure what to do about that other than one of like the talkers of the group that's good at that stuff, like essentially tricking him into like an interrogation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could try and eavesdrop him, or see what he's got in his person while he's sleeping, something like that. But
I could go into his tent, but like that involves timing it.
If they can't prove that we did it and they had people on watch the whole night, then I don't, I don't see where we find blame. And if he kicks off, then we just, gaslight the shit out of him. But
yeah,
that's whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could try to make it look like the padlock just came loose on the cage or something, and he just managed to get out in the middle of the night. Make it look like a manufacturer error in the cage.
Yeah, that's hard, isn't it?
It is, because I don't know what other options we have besides literally confrontation and being like,
yeah, I mean,
fuck.
If we use, for instance, Andrasa gives Carlisle just greater invisibility, I would be able to get away with pretty much anything around this cage, which means I could probably get away with that. It's more of just like how easy is it? Like, how close are they to the edge of the camp anyways? Like, if this guy were to get out of this cage, like, is there a distance? Is there like a chase? Is there a place that like they could go?
They're camped like a good 30 or so feet away from your camp. They're just kind of adjacent to it. Yeah.
They're close enough that we would protect them from harm and they get food. But they're not actually in our camp.
I also think.
I don't know, man. I think we just greater invis you and try and get more info. It sounds like you don't want to commit either way.
For now,
we should just try and see if we can get.
I shouldn't need greater invisibility to get more information, so I can just post up quietly.
If some of the priests are eating at our camp, we could just try to get more information out of them, like jovially, just like chatting, like.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I mean, Tack's great at pulling information.
Offer them some food. I'm pretty sure the orc just ate his own food and then went to sleep.
Yeah, I was also going to say 30 feet is also the distance that normal detect thoughts works at. And it's just concentration for a minute, but I can hop between anybody within a 30-foot radius of me.
Oh, that's great.
So, you know, if Carlisle were in a position where it was just him over there again and he was making conversation, I could try to just detect surface thoughts in response to questions and stuff, you know, the same way we've done that before without having to be like, I'm his nurse, I have to be here. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy for Carlisle to go back and be like, oh, I'm checking up on like people that are injured. And I could just ask, like, how did you get these like injuries to begin with, and like strike up small talk while that conversation's happening, because that's going to give us context to why this guy is in this cage.
For the sake of this too, should we imagine that? I imagine Androssa would probably do our telepathic bond, so we can quickly help as well with whatever is being learned.
That works for me. Okay,
cool.
So individually, who wants to do what? And which order?
I will be 30 feet from their camp. Milling about on the outskirts of our camp.
Okay.
And once he's over there, I will cast detect thoughts properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carlisle will reapproach their camp on the outside.
Give me another stealth check.
He's not going to be stealthy about this. He's just going to walk up and say, I'm just here to check up on the injured again.
You would wander over there, and the kind of the priest looks at you. Fine. You can check up on them. You just see the two are kind of resting there. You cast detect thoughts on him, and you would you'd hear him kind of like be like, "Why is this guy coming over again? What's he want? Can't you be left alone?" Like he's just kind of like a little bit anxious about having to like even talk to people right now.
Carlisle will go up to the two injured guys. I think the one that got stabbed, or that got sliced by like a weapon of some kind, probably ask them. So, this is a little important, at least, to make sure that you're disinfected properly and all that. But where exactly did this happen?
I see. The burnt individual like a dwarven man, and this one's a human guy, probably in his like 20s. He goes, I mean, we're part of a little expedition force. We pushed north. We came from the city, and we all got teleported up there. It's the biggest expedition force has ever pushed into the north. And here I am, fucking only days into it, and I'm already out for the count. Oh, I was hoping I'd be knighted.
So you were all sent down, like, from the expedition force back down here? Because of injuries and because of them?
Roll a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage because you saved his life.
Yes, I did do that.
I'll also swap to detecting this guy's thoughts.
Okay.
I'm mainly asking things because I'm hoping he'll think them.
Yeah.
Whether or not he gives me anything.
Yeah, something like that. In his mind, he's like, you immediately hear him go like, should I tell him? He goes, our coil might hurt me. Like, oh no, I don't want to get in trouble. We just got to get back down to the city. Something like that. Goes, yeah, something like that. Thank you, by the way.
And,
it's great to be back in civilization.
It.
Yeah, I've been up there. It's awful. Savages, a lot of them.
I was in an expedition.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have.
They tried to prepare you for it, didn't they? But you never realised just how evil it is up there.
Well, there's hard parts, but there's also a lot of good people, too. If you know where to look.
Yeah. Sure.
While he's talking about that, what's he thinking?
You can hear him think, like, about how he's like, they don't even have like walls. They don't even have buildings. Some of them live in trees. He's like thinking of some of them like the weapons they use are so jagged, bony. He's thinking about like the ones they had to kill. He's thinking about like he's missing home. He thinks about like civilization. He misses his house. He misses just kind of being the comfort of the city. You can see this guy just has a pretty dark view of what the land without light is. Sees them kind of primitive.
Then Carlisle will point over to the guy who was really badly burned.
Was this done by a spell?
Yeah. That creature in the cage, its mother was a devilish woman, succubus. Cast different magics. I managed to kill her though. Saved the entirety of our people and, brought that village down. It's a danger, really.
Detect thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he's telling...
Sorry, this is why I cast it. I'm sorry.
No, it makes sense. He's telling the truth. Like, he's proud, thinking like we liberated an area.
So they destroyed the village?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if I have anything more to ask them that I can like. If they're like in a position of, I'm convinced I've done the right thing. None of this is wrong. Like
It's like justified ethnic cleansing. It's weird.
Can you?
Yeah.
Over the telepathic bond, V would be like, "How many did they send up there? How many are still up there?"
You don't mind me asking, how big's the expedition this time around? Mine wasn't that big.
You're not going to sign up. Biggest expedition there's been. I mean, by the tally of it, I think there's about 3,000 of us that went up there. Mostly soldiers.
God.
Shit.
We're,
Mostly soldiers. Must be more dangerous up there than when I was there. Like 3,000 soldiers.
what would be called the
Holy
Spear of
fuck.
Victory. You don't know what's been happening in the capital. We think the newborn's going to be coming soon. The priest down there, the archpriest, they're making an entire new oath, an entire paladin sect. The oath of the newborn. Those who serve victory when they come back. The Spear of Victory is going to cleanse the entirety of the land with that light. We're going to bring down all of the pre-lux gods that we should have done
This guy's cooked.
all those years ago.
Holy fuck!
And those of us who are lucky will be accepted into a paladin order of the highest regard, serving one of the actual sun children when they return. In glorious radiant flame, we will bring it back. I mean,
Oh my god!
I guess my friends will. Didn't expect to get injured so quickly.
Well, with some rest, maybe you'll have another chance to, do something. But you need to get your rest, so get some sleep, yeah?
Thank you, Doc. Thanks for saving us. Be careful with that
Yeah,
one.
don't mention.
Kind of leans back down and kind of rests kind of calmly. In his head, you can keep hearing him saying, like, we did the right thing. But he's scared. And, like, you can see, like, it's not like he's blinded by zealotry. He's kind of, like, convincing himself that everything was okay. But you can tell they've done some bad things up there.
Mm-hmm.
Carlisle will go back over to Tech, kind of look at them, and still be in a spot of like, I thought.
It feels like the best thing that we can do is let that person out of that cage and let them try to go home, even if they don't have much of a home left.
I mean, for what it's worth, those poor idiots really believe that shit. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
So, though. Do you think that you can... Tech will look around. Think you can get him out? Without them knowing what happened?
I think I might be able to.
Joe, have they been has the group in general, their group been making their way over to get food and drinks and stuff still?
Yeah. The rest of the priests and stuff, yeah, they're kind of sat down in the camp. They're grabbing food and drinks when they can. They kind of wait their turn. You can see they're a little bit more timid, almost like a part of this kind of expedition force is non-military, kind of there to encourage them and whatnot. And this is kind of who's been sent back. So
how late is it tonight?
This is probably a good 9-10 p.m. at this point.
Carlisle, seeing where they're drinking from at a point in the night when it looks like they're all coming back around for rounds of whatever drink. This sounds crazy, but what Carlisle's going to do is just kind of he's going to put some of the sleeping salve that he uses for the group in general into the drink that they're using. It's harmless to anyone else, just going to make them sleep better. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But he's going to try to make sure as many of the guards that would be watching him if he goes out later to free this person are going to be drowsy or snoozing.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand check.
24.
I'll see. I'm gonna give them a general kind of check to see if they see you.
I'll touch a brilliant stat. It's actually a 27.
Hey, thanks, Shane.
None of them notice. You kind of able to slip. You can even help them a little bit with their kind of portions and stuff. But one by one, you'd be able to knock out all of the guards. Or at least you know that they're all going to go there sleepy. Whoever's going to be on watch after drinking that is also probably going to pass out. This is definitely going to be a case of very few guards on watch.
Okay.
If you were mentally queuing us into the plan, we would come try to talk to you about it. Can we send them off with something? They have nothing to go back to. Maybe I could wait at the edge of the woods with a bag of things to help them.
I think that'd be good. I think they'll probably head that way once the cage is open.
I can wait. Prepare some stuff there.
All right, I'll give you some time, all right?
Yeah, and then after some time has passed, if it seems like V's gotten what they need, Carlisle will ask Indrasa to cast greater invisibility on him, and he's going to head over to the cage once he's sure that there is as few possible people as possible are going to be able to possibly detect this cage being opened.
You would see they swapped the guard, and the kind of priest who's on watch now is the middle-aged man. He's kind of drowsy, and he's kind of, his eyes are kind of, he's fallen asleep for minutes at a time because of the since the swap, and so everyone's going to sleep down here.
Okay. Yeah, he'll go up to the cage, and he's going to quietly try to unlock it.
Okay, give me a thieves tools check.
24.
Quietly, you unlock the cage door.
And
you go inside. He's half asleep. You like to what?
I'm just gonna slowly, quietly open it up. I don't think Carlisle's gonna say anything. He's still in super invisibility, but I'd like to help him sneak out.
Okay.
Kind of just slow, put hands on shoulder, guide him out of the camp and into the dark.
Yeah. and you kind of moving through, like he kind of slips out with you, and there's a moment where he kind of like hesitates when you get to the edge of the camp. He also rose quite high on his stealth, so he's like also with you quietly. He gets to the edge of the camp when you kind of get him out. He says, I don't know who's doing that. Whoever you are, thank you.
Yeah, don't mention it. Carlisle will point him towards V.
He wanders over towards you, V.
Okay. I will have put, I guess like a dagger or a sword, something that they can use to defend themselves with, right? Some rations, water, and I think at least 100 gold into a backpack.
He takes it and looks at you and goes, looks back.
I do not think you have anything to return to in the north, from what we have learned. I am sorry this has happened to you as well.
We traded with them. The people of Hour Till Dusk. We were building relations. It was good for years. He kind of looks at the knife and looks back towards the kind of cactus camp. I have not the eye for battle, but that monster back there, the one they called Arcoil, the half-orc. After driving his sword through my mother's chest, it wasn't enough for him. He killed the young, he killed the old. All in the name of the southern god. And he thought by bringing me back down there that he would get some sort of knighthood. All of this is just for a title. There's monsters in the north now. And they call themselves the Spear. He takes the backpack and throws it over his shoulder. I don't know where I'm going, but thank you.
I wish we could do more.
You've done enough for me. I just don't think there's going to be a north to go back to soon. And he kind of walks out of the camp and then jogs off into the distance.
V is goes back to Carlisle. I'm guessing they're on like the outskirts of camp.
Yeah, he would have been long visible by now.
Yeah. She's gonna be kind of trembling with rage.
Carlisle's just gonna like put his hand on her shoulder and like give them a nod because it is very obvious this has seriously upset him too.
3,000. He didn't think there would be a north to go back to. Soon. He said the leader of their little camp took pleasure in killing his mother and the children.
Yeah, I heard. I don't know what we can do about them right now, but...
She looks at you with like a pleading expression of like, I don't want to let this guy live.
Whatever you need to do, I'm with you for. Carlisle's not going to try to talk them out of it. If they need to do something, he's with them.
I do not want to endanger our companions. However, I do not think he deserves to live.
I understand. If you want, we can talk to the rest of the group about this, or we can deal with it ourselves.
We should talk to them.
All right.
Well,
yeah.
When you head back to the group as a whole and kind of gather them together to discuss it, you would hear, by the time you kind of get back, the shouts of the kind of almost like arousal suspicion is coming from that camp now, as the guard has clearly woken up, seen the cages open. He's called for the orc, and you hear him going, "He's what? What do you mean?" As they're shouting from the distance. You guys are going to have your conversation next time, as we'll find out how you guys deal with Arcoil and the priests. But we'll call it there just because we are rolled down.
Gotta kill him, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking kill that guy.
But with what's going on now, you do have Vanderval's kind of challenges. You have the Spear of Victory washing into the north, and you have Song Rest in a current state of occupation. Reality magic being used. We'll come back next time to see where each of those stories align themselves. So, thanks everyone for playing. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll do some quick shout-outs here. I'll just shout out our two missing members quickly first. OG is OldLadyGamer on all her socials and whatnot. She streams mostly on Saturdays, so check her out there. ShayneHawke has just undergone some surgery, so that's why he couldn't make it today. So hopefully he heals up fast, but I'm sure he's been playing through some stuff since, or he'll be back soon into streaming schedule. Bree.
Hello, I'm Bree Bunn, a variety streamer. I just finished KOTOR 2. That was great. And
Sick.
Yeah, I don't know what's super next on the itinerary. Maybe Claire Obscure, because people
You
love
100%
it
need to
so
play that.
much.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That game
It's
is
so good.
That's probably my next one.
Mm-hmm. You should definitely know for sure.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you coded for sure. Tomato.
Awesome.
Can't
do one today.
What's it? Why?
Doctor's note.
Doctor's note. Again, thank you.
Are you the doctor in this scenario? you getting your character to write you a note?
Carlisle writes him a note.
W/tomato. Sam Strippin.
Yo, Strippin. I'm playing Claire Obscure and group shit.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. It's good choices of games. Doctor.
Hi guys. My body's finally giving up and I have a cold. But
No.
so I know. No. It's fine. It's been slowly creeping into my body over the course of like 2 weeks, but we're there. We're in it now. However, hopefully I'm still gonna be doing all my normal streams. I've been doing a Hollow Knight replay, which has been very fun. And I started playing a game called Horror at High Rook, which has also been a very fun experience, sort of like cultist simulator, Cthulhu investigation game. That's been very cool. But yeah, I stream every day. Come hang out.
Sweet.
It's a good time.
There's a Patreon if you're interested. Exclamation mark Patreon. You can see behind the scenes there, just some of the notes and whatnot. Otherwise, you can catch me on this channel. I don't really know what I'm doing this week, but I'm sure it'll just be a lot of roleplay games and all that good stuff. Overall, thank you everyone for playing as per usual. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back next week, hopefully with a full group. And we got some big old episodes coming up as they're kind of getting into the escalated areas of reality magic and genie stuff, which will be fun, and whatever happens in the north. So we'll see you next week for episode 68. Also, I accidentally uploaded the wrong episode last week. I uploaded the same episode from 2 weeks ago. So yeah, 65 went up twice. My bad. 66 will be up tomorrow for those who are trying to catch up on YouTube. Yeah, look out for that. Otherwise, thanks everyone for playing. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.